Hello everyone, welcome to this presentation. My name is Mohammed Amin Bilhoushi and I'm about to show you a real-time mobile user interface framework. It's a web-based user interface framework to let the users connect to their database. This application has been made by basically the standards of the web development. HTML5, PHP7, CSS3 with Bootstrap 5 as a good layout, MySQL for the database, and JavaScript as a front-end language. There is no dependency, by the way. No, the Bootstrap JS is not integrated, or jQuery, or any other library. This application is a mobile application as well as a secure and friendly application. It works very fast to let people interact with the data like they are having the data as their disposition and reliably, because the data is refreshed all the time. So this data application will work across all platforms, across all major uh, operating system, as well as all the major Internet Explorer. This application is scalable to be working on workstation or just a local area network, and it also can be expanded to the web. This application has a tracker or a listener who will actually track and save all the data modification. And this application also has been developed in 3 different languages for now to suit the maximum people. Once the customer is logged in, he can actually log in with email, username, or phone number, as well as Google, Facebook, or their Twitter accounts. Once connected, they can do basic operation for the data and uploading as well files, single photos or multiple uploads. Once the data is saved, the customer can look up for it, doing a quick search, an advanced search for more specific criteria, and do an ascending or descending sort. And finally, the operation for navigation, such as moving to the first or the last, jumping to the specific record, which was kind of what we're going to see in this demonstration, and switching between the form and the list view. These forms can be nested within each other in levels, so we can have a master form and subform and even a subform for a subform. And this is what we can assess as a Russian doll. This is why I'm doing this little illustration here. Let's jump into right to the presentation. So here I have already the same user already connected. So because this is how it looks actually if you want to see how we log in. So here we have this page loaded in English, this one is in French, this one is in Spanish. So if we click on login, here it says connection for the French people. Here I can, for example, use my Google account, and here I can use my username and password. And for this guy, if I want to, can get it disconnected and connect user using my email. And password. Okay. Alright, so once we are connected, so there is basically a profile, what we can have a look at it, and I'm gonna get back to it and explain how we can change this authentication information, because it's not gonna be the same as just changing the address or the name. It's a two-way process. In next videos I'm gonna explain each one of them how it goes. But for today, I want just to show you the the form. So let's start with the simplest. This one, I called it a credit card. It's actually a form with input text and a list with a single select. So let's start with creating a new credit card for John. Let's say Doe. Credit card number, expiration also, and let's do a Visa. And since we are at it, let's just check here very quickly if we do a list view here. So we have here let's raise this to form. Once I save this, notice where John Doe here appears as well as here. And we can do a change, for instance, to this 5406 and do like 4 zeros and see how all the data has been updated. I can jump into it from here and change this data to master, and it changed accordingly. Can do a quick search here, John. So, or here as well, you can do a sorting. You can sort by first name or last name. And let's say we delete John Doe from here. Let's turn this to this guy here. So we have several options. We can delete using this button, or select it and delete it from this button, or delete it from this. It's all the same. So let's delete it from here. And here you have it. Now you have 2 records, and John Doe has disappeared. From this form, we're gonna move to this one, to the contact. So in this form, what we can do, we can still change input text and being verified for, let's say here we have an email, so it has to be in correct form. But here we can have a list with a multiple select. We can also have it updated. So this is a custom list. So the customer can just come in here and update it. Let's say what I did 79. Okay, let's do 7. When I save here, it saved everywhere. It shows, by the way, we can move in here to this place. So if I add John Doe here as a new contact, and with a 514, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, let's say. Voila. Here we go. Notice that only this one hasn't been changed because it's actually updating. So we have to cancel this. It's gonna be refreshed. Here we go. I can come in here and change 79 back to where it was. I can delete it from here. So we are free to use whatever browser we want. So if we have a browser pending, or we can also do several operations. So, and having our data always refreshed. You can also definitely upload the photo. So let's see how it works. So let's do this guy here. And do it as a friend, taking a phone number. And let's upload the photo. Let's upload it from Firefox actually. Let's do this here. And here we go. Even the lists has been also updated accordingly. Here it is. Voila. The next form will be this one here, because this has a multiple lists or multiple select. However, this is a single select, so we have just one pick. Here we have a multiple select, and we have actually two of them. One where we can add or update the content of the list, and these guys are system lists, so we cannot update them. So let's see how it works for the rest of the, no, not this one, I'm going to see it later on. So here the same principle, if I save it, so everything will be updated. Let's make it back to normal, or let's do it from another place. So let's do vehicle. Here we go, that's it. So just to see the interaction. We can also add a new item. Okay, let's just do this like so, like that. Okay, and we can delete it from here. So the same principle is still working everywhere. Now let's jump into this form here, where it shows basically a form with a subform. So here we are start nesting data within other data. So this, for example, this guy has two documents. So this one having these photos, and this document with these photos. We might also have this guy here with no photos, and it's empty, so we have to add it so we can upload photos. Otherwise, if it's all empty, there is no way to add or even to delete or select. There is no sense for it. You can also here do an add and do the same principle. But the idea behind this is showing the master and showing the detail. This is one master, one detail. In this here, in this form, we're gonna see one master and two subforms. This is the vehicle form. Voilà. So we have here a way to, we have actually three lists to be able to select the model. So we have actually to select the brand and the type. So it's gonna close in the model or select just our Cadillac, let's say, a sedan. And here we have just the Cadillac. Since we have a BMW sedan, and here we have the 5 Series and so on. So you have also the option, and notice we have this icons just to help the users identify the things. And here you see also how the data is getting updated without having to change, because these two are kits or subforms on this, so we have to change this in order to get these guys changed underneath. And finally, because I think that this video is going to be quite long, the final one here is this big guy, because it has multiple forms and subforms within. We can just take the address without having to click. So here, let's say you have a route. Each route may have several destinations, and its destination might have several orders, and each order may have several items. Let's expand this a little bit. So we have this route having 3 destinations, and the first destination has 2 orders. So when we move to this one has also 2, and this has none. We can just, for example, take this off. Let's remove this guy here. So we have the first one with 2 orders, the second with 1, and the last with no orders. And so we have them all linked. Not only that, but for the road, you have also additional nodes. So let's say here, and here's the same thing. So let's say this node has been changed. Okay. Once save it, I'll save it. All right. So here we have the master, the root. We have the subform of it, the additional root. So for each root we have multiple nodes. Now, then for the root you have the subform, and destination has order as a subform, as nodes as another subform. So we have here, for example, this guy here. Again, looks good. All right. There we go. Or I can add a new node here if I want to. Here's the new node that I just added. And basically, yeah, it's the same everywhere. Here's the new node. And yeah, what we can also see, if I can come in here and change to the contact, basically this is not Julius picture, but we can name this Carlos. And notice here in this list, here, that when I save this, Carlos is updated like in the list, in the caption, and everywhere. So here I'm working on a different form in another browser, and it has an impact on all of it. And so we said that the destination has command orders as subform and nodes, additional net as a subform, and the orders now has its additional node as a subform, and that's it. There is no subform. It's the last one. And as you can notice here in the shadow, so you have the form, you have the subform of orders, you have the subform for destination, you have the form for orders. I think that this for now wraps quite a bit up. There's a lot of things that I didn't show you guys, sorry about that, like doing a quick search here, like searching for Bob, for instance, like a quick search, doing a filter, like having a first name that starts with C, the letter C, and sure enough it's Carlos. We can do also a reset the filter and just check for our friends. Sorry about that. And here is, this guy is a friend, and this is friend as well. Basically when we do a, for example here, the list is filtered, but it doesn't really matter here when we change the data. Let's do this Doe or Joe, it also changed. And we don't lose our filter, we don't lose our sorting if we do a sort here. Carlos will be Jose, let's say. I don't know if it's the right way to write it, or let's name it Mario. Okay, there you go, Mario, and we still have the sorting. So I believe we see it all, how we input data, how we navigate, how we extract it with a quick search, and how we do a filter and an advanced search. We can see a bunch of examples. I'm going to do a specific video for each and every form, but this one is just an overall presentation for this data. So for example, I'm going to show you how the AND and OR works, If I want to select this or even this, there's a lot of details that I can go through. But basically, um, this is just a general presentation. I thank you very, very, very much for your time. And I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you very much for watching again, and have a